Good day everyone, and welcome to our course on Lodging Facilities Management. In this first module, we are going to set the foundation, the strategic base, upon which all successful lodging operations are built. Now, before we dive into the details, I want you to picture something. Imagine you're standing in the lobby of a large, beautifully designed hotel. There's a subtle scent in the air, maybe lavender or sandalwood, the lighting is warm, the floor polished, and the staff greet you with a professional yet genuine smile. Behind all of this seamless comfort lies an enormous amount of planning, investment, decision-making, and strategy. That's what this module is all about, understanding how such a facility comes into existence, why it is built the way it is, and what strategic forces drive its success. 1. Understanding lodging facilities in the context of tourism and hospitality. Let's begin with the basics. What exactly do we mean by lodging facilities? In the hospitality industry, a lodging facility is any establishment that provides accommodation for guests. This includes hotels, resorts, motels, inns, hostels, serviced apartments, bed and breakfast establishments, and increasingly, alternative lodging such as boutique retreats, eco-lodges, and even hybrid spaces that mix co-working with accommodation. Now, you might be tempted to think of lodging facilities simply as buildings with rooms. But in management terms, they are much more than that. They are strategic assets that combine physical infrastructure, service design, human capital, technology, and brand identity. They are also economic drivers for local communities, often acting as magnets for tourism and investment. In today's competitive hospitality market, the role of lodging facilities goes beyond providing a bed for the night. Guests expect experiences, and these experiences begin long before they even walk through the door. They start online, when a potential guest sees images, reads reviews, and interacts with the brand digitally. So, when we talk about managing lodging facilities, we are not just talking about physical spaces, we are talking about integrated guest experience ecosystems. 2. Political and economic forces driving lodging development. No lodging facility exists in isolation. The decision to build, renovate, or expand one is always influenced by political and economic forces. Let's start with the political dimension. Government policies, regulations, and incentives play a huge role in lodging development. For example, tourism promotion strategies from national or regional governments can attract investors to build hotels in certain areas. Zoning laws determine where lodging facilities can be built and how they can operate. Building codes dictate safety standards, accessibility, and environmental requirements. In some countries, governments provide tax breaks, subsidies, or low-interest loans for developing tourism infrastructure. Consider an example. In preparation for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar, the government and private investors worked hand in hand to develop hundreds of new lodging facilities. Without government support, the scale of such development would have been impossible. Now let's talk about the economic forces. Lodging is an investment-heavy business. Land cost, construction materials, labor, furniture, technology, all require substantial capital. Economic conditions such as interest rates, inflation, exchange rates, and overall market demand strongly influence whether it makes financial sense to open or expand a lodging facility. We also have to consider macroeconomic trends. For instance, a booming economy often leads to higher travel spending, boosting hotel occupancy rates. An economic downturn can result in lower travel demand, forcing managers to adjust pricing strategies and reduce operational costs. Global crises, such as pandemics, can dramatically affect lodging demand, forcing strategic pivots toward domestic markets or alternative uses for facilities. The political and economic environment shapes not only whether a lodging facility is viable but also how it should be positioned in the market. 3. Trends in design and planning of lodging facilities. When we talk about design in the context of lodging, we're not just talking about aesthetics, though style and visual appeal are important. We are talking about functionality, efficiency, and alignment with guest expectations. Let's go through some of the major trends influencing modern lodging design. Sustainability and eco-design. Hotels and resorts are increasingly adopting sustainable building practices. This includes using recycled or locally sourced materials, installing energy-efficient systems, harvesting rainwater, and minimizing waste. Guests are now actively seeking eco-conscious accommodation, and sustainable design is no longer just a moral choice, it's a competitive advantage. Technology integration. Smart room controls, mobile check-in, automated concierge services, and app-based service requests are becoming standard in higher-end facilities. Design now incorporates infrastructure for fast Wi-Fi, device charging stations, and digital entertainment systems. Flexibility of space. The rise of mixed-use spaces, where a room can serve as a work area during the day and a relaxation zone at night, reflects the needs of the remote working traveler. Cultural and local identity. More facilities are embedding local culture into their design. This could mean architecture inspired by local heritage, use of regional art, or integration of locally crafted furnishings. The planning process for a lodging facility requires careful market analysis, location evaluation, and feasibility studies. It's not enough to build something beautiful, it has to be functional, profitable, and adaptable to future trends. 4. Strategic management approaches for lodging and leisure venues. Now, let's shift from design to strategic management. Strategic management in lodging facilities involves setting long-term goals, aligning resources to achieve them, and continuously adapting to market changes. Some of the key strategic considerations include market positioning. Will your facility target luxury travelers, budget-conscious guests, business tourists, or families? Branding and differentiation. How will you stand out from competitors? Through exceptional service, unique design, exclusive amenities. Revenue management. Using data analytics to forecast demand and adjust pricing dynamically. Partnerships. Collaborating with airlines, tour operators, or event organizers to drive bookings. Remember, a lodging facility is not just a real estate asset, it's a living business that must constantly evolve. A strategic manager must think beyond daily operations and look at where the facility should be in 5 or 10 years. 5. Sustainability and environmental considerations. I want to pause here and focus a bit more deeply on sustainability, because this is no longer optional, it's central to competitive lodging management. Guests, especially younger generations, are increasingly conscious of their environmental footprint. Governments are tightening regulations. And energy costs are a significant operational expense. This means sustainable practices are not just ethically right, they are financially smart. From a strategic perspective, sustainability can be integrated into building design, solar panels, natural ventilation, insulation to reduce heating and cooling needs. Operations, recycling programs, water-saving fixtures, waste reduction initiatives. Guest engagement, encouraging guests to reuse towels, opt out of daily linen changes, or participate in eco-friendly activities. Facilities that embrace sustainability often gain marketing leverage, they can position themselves as leaders in responsible tourism. 6. Case examples of strategic lodging development. Let's close this module with a few real-world examples that illustrate how political, economic, and design strategies come together. Example 1. The Marina Bay Sands, Singapore. This massive integrated resort was strategically positioned as both a lodging and entertainment hub. The Singaporean government offered incentives, the design incorporated luxury and iconic architecture, and the facility now attracts millions of visitors annually, boosting the country's tourism brand. Example 2. Ecolodges in Costa Rica. Here, small-scale sustainable facilities use local materials, employ local staff, and integrate ecotourism experiences. Political support for conservation and a global trend toward responsible travel have made these lodges highly successful despite being outside traditional urban tourist hubs. Example 3. Boutique heritage hotels in Europe. Many cities have seen old historic buildings converted into luxury boutique hotels. This reflects a trend of integrating cultural identity into lodging while revitalizing urban areas. To wrap up, what we've learned in this module is that lodging facilities are far more than physical structures. They are product of political, economic, cultural, and environmental forces. They require careful strategic planning that considers market positioning, design trends, and sustainability. In our next module, we'll shift gears, moving from strategy to the nuts and bolts of daily operations, where all the planning meets real-world execution.